Alrighty, so welcome to the second part of the series. We will be continuing it, and this video is actually going to cover everything that is missing. So it's going to cover all the videos that haven't been done, all just in one. The only thing it will not be covering is how to add custom trees. If you want to add custom trees, you can just watch the other video. It's literally the exact same way and it still works. So if you want custom trees, watch the other video for the trees portion. But if you don't, we're going to be just fixing invalid X crossings. I'll show you how to do that, which is a big error. We're going to be doing buildings, trees, cities, then we're going to fix the trees because the trees will probably be in the water on some parts, and when you add your cities, of course, there may or may not be some trees in the city, so we'll fix that. And then after that, we are going to fix all the rest of the issues, or rest of the errors you get in the error log that are irrelevant. The ones that aren't, we're just going to skip over. But yeah, anyways, let's get started on the first part, which is fixing invalid X crossing and buildings. Alrighty, so first we're going to deal with buildings.txt. So go to Steam, click Hoi4, right click it, manage, browse local files, move that over. Now go to your search bar, search up Paradox Interactive, go to that folder, open it, or you could just go to Documents, then to Paradox Interactive, then Hoi4, Mod, click your mod, Map. Now go to your base game files, go to Map, open buildings.txt, copy the very first line, close that, go to buildings.txt in your mod, paste it, save, close. Now we can launch our mod. But before we do that, make sure to right click, go to properties, make sure you're in debug mode because we need Nudger. In playsets, make sure your only mod that's enabled is yours, of course, then play. Alrighty, so an error log should have popped up on your screen. If not, you can just go to your Paradox Documents folder, Hoi4, logs, and error log, but it should pop up. So once we have that popped up, we're going to be looking for one error, and if you do not have this error, then you can just skip this part of the video. But we're going to be looking for bitmap and province definition disagree whether or not province is coastal. So basically what that means is in your mod here, your actual province.bmp and definition.csv are conflicting, and it's going to prefer your provinces.bmp. And we just want to fix that because we're going to be dealing with coastal buildings in the buildings, and we don't want to break the game. So open up your definition.csv, and now we can simply click Control F 3596 or whatever state you're doing, and you're gonna have to, if you have multiple of these, you're gonna just do this process over and over, but I only have one, so find that. And now open your provinces.bmp with GIMP. Alrighty, so now put these side by side, and let's go, doesn't really matter where, but click your color, first the foreground color, and for the RGB values, just put in this value, and this value. So I'm going to do 100, 230, 183. Also, if it won't let you go that high, it's probably because you're on 0 to 100. You want to be on 0 to 225 or 255. And once we have that, you can click OK. Now make a new layer and just draw a little square or something. Now at the top, the fourth tool over, you can click and hold. There'll be two options, fuzzy select and select by color. Do select by color. Make sure the threshold is 0, okay? and click on that color. Actually, we're supposed to do that in this one. So never mind the new layer. Just draw it directly onto here. We'll fix it after. Redo that. Select by color. Click it. Make sure threshold 0. Now copy. Control C. Control V. And it will just copy everything with that on it. And that's probably the best way to find it. Now we can disable that layer. Hide it for now. And right here we can see is the province that's causing us these issues. So we can re-enable that, and as we can see right here, it is touching the water, which is this. And let's see in here, it says false, which means it is not touching the water. That's why there's a conflict. So you could either do one of two things. You could either just set this to true, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just make it not water and keep it what the definition says. So we can delete that first layer. We can go to our color picker tool, click this color, and I'm just going to draw simply that, and it will be fixed. So now make sure to go wherever you drew your thing at the start, make sure to fix that up first using the color picker tool. There we go, and our map is good now. So what we can do is click File, Export As, has to be Export As, keep the name the same, Export, Replace, and there's two options we have to make sure are correct. Make sure it's 24 bits, and make sure do not write color space information is on, then click Export. Now we can close GIMP, discard changes, close this, close that, minimize that, and let's restart our program. Now, as we can see, the error is gone, so that means we're allowed to continue on to the next step, which is go to nudge. And simply, before, it used to be a whole complicated process where you'd have to click each state, click V to validate, and then you would have to find the broken state, do some stuff. I actually have a video on that, so if what I'm about to show you doesn't work, then you can go back to that video and try that method instead. So, but now it should just work automatically. Before, validate all states didn't work, but now it does with the newer releases. So all you have to do is click validate all states. And as we can see, they're all beautifully put together for us. So now what we can do is just click save. We can Alt F4 out of the game, close that. Go open our two folders again. There we go. Now we go in, actually, we just need this one. Go to in your Paradox folder, go to Hoi4, map, and we'll see these three files were created by Nudge. So we can Control C, copy those, go to rmod, map, and paste them in there and replace the files. Now go back to Hoi4, and we can delete that map folder out of our Paradox Hoi4 folder. Now we can start the game. Alrighty, go to Nudge, zoom in, click buildings, and they're all beautifully there. Alrighty, that's it for the buildings portion. The next part is trees. Alright, now onto the trees portion of the video. So, just for some information, there are 3 types of trees and 2 variants for each type of trees. So the first one is going to be palm trees, which you put on small desert-style islands like this, and you can put them on the coast as well. You could even put them in the middle if you want, but I didn't see too much of that in the base game, so I'm not too sure. It's up to you. It's all up to you. Then we have the forest ones, which obviously go into the forest, and then we have the jungle ones, which go in, obviously, again, into the jungle. So I'm gonna put it on all these islands, just this area generally. Some of these are jungle as well, so I'll put those on there. And it's pretty hard to see from the actual, like, way I'm gonna do it, so it may be a good idea to just look around your map in Nudger and see where you need to place these. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna close this, open up Steam, and now if you still have them open, you can just use those, but go to Paradox, your mod, map, and then right click Hoi4, manage, browse local files, and map. Alrighty, now that we have these two open, the one thing I have to say is the tree map that generates with MapGen version 2.2 is way too big. Basically what happens is when you draw on it, it's just going to draw like thousands and thousands of trees and it'll lag the crap out of your game, so we don't want that. We are going to delete the trees.bmp in here and copy and paste the game directory one into here. So now right click it, open with GIMP. And first thing we gotta do is resize, which, by the way, you're gonna need some basic math skills here, everyone, okay? So we're gonna resize this. Let me just open up the calculator app and a notepad to store what I need. So when we copied over the size, if you right click it, properties and then details, we're going to write that down, 1650 by 600. We can close that. Go to your terrain.bmp, properties, details, and now for the top one, we're going to just do that. 3, 8, 40, 20, 48. So we're going to try to, we need to, since my map isn't exact dimensions as the base game, we have to do some calculations, but if yours is, then you don't. What we're going to do is do 2048 divided by 600, and here's going to be our finished results. So 600 we're going to keep, and copy this number right here. You can click CE, clear all, and go to 3840 divided by, and Control V to paste. There we are, and this is the value we need. So that's how big our X is going to be and how big our Y is going to be. You can close out of that, push, don't have to say that, just put it to the side. Now go back into here, image, canvas size, make sure it's unlocked, and then for the first value, 1125 for me, and 600 is good. Now resize, then we can just delete that layer, and we can move this to the side and drag the trees.bmp into here. We're just going to use this for color reference, nothing else. So select our color, our background color, make that invisible, create a new layer in the bottom here, click OK, and just color that all in with the pencil tool. So now we have a blank one. What we're also going to want to add is in our mod, you can close the Hoi4 one now. In our mod, well, minimize it. In our mod, go to terrain.bmp, drag that in there, put it to the top, and we're going to want to rescale this thing. Make sure this one is locked and just do 600 or whatever, and scale. Now we can just drag it over here, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but close enough. So we know the calculations were correct. Now, as I was saying before, desert areas, small islands for palm trees, and this red area is mostly jungle, so we're also going to do those. Some areas you may want to exclude it, like there's obviously some red areas over here, but I didn't want this to be forest. That was just an automatic generation thing. Also right here I'm not going to put any, but on these small islands right here, 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 all of this I will. So we can make that invisible for a second, go back to here. First we'll start with forest because it's the most basic. We'll select the first color with the color picker tool. Then we can turn that back on and that back on and that off. Create a new layer. And what we're going to want to do is select by color. We'll select all of, okay, that's not it. Select by color. Make sure the threshold's 0. Make sure you're clicking on the right one. Click that, and basically it'll just highlight everything of the same color. So those are the areas we want to have trees, and shift left click, it'll add a different color. So those ones can be added too. I'm not going to do the green border because I don't want them to be touching the coast, the trees, because it'll look weird. We also don't want them touching any cities, in case you have cities, so we'll just manually edit that later though. But we can minimize that for now. Go back into here, and we can make our paintbrush size 1, and we can click apply jitter. So I'm gonna actually go back. I'm gonna show you what jitter does. No, that's not it. Make it 50. So that's what jitter does. It's just gonna give us a kind of randomized look to it. So again, I'm gonna go back into here, make sure I'm on the right map, click that, shift click to get that as well, minimize that, go back onto our fresh layer that has nothing, and I am going to simply draw. Now, as to how much you want, you can always go back and look at this one as a reference. So you can see it's pretty thick for most of the areas. The only ones that aren't thick are the palm trees. So we're going to copy that style. Remember, we have 2 different colors to apply because there's 2 different variants for each tree type. Just left clicking, moving my mouse, and holding right now. Alright, that looks good for the first shade. Maybe add a little bit more. A little bit more. Then we're going to go back onto this one, and we're going to select the second color, the second variant. Oh, make sure you're on the right map. Go back into here and add more. As you can see, it's working beautifully. You can always come back and adjust this afterwards too. There's no problems about that. Make sure you don't do it in Paint or MS Paint or Paint.net. It won't work, probably. So the documentation says at least. Alrighty, so I think that's good for those. So we'll just minimize that layer for now. Go back to here and color select. Make sure you're on the right map. Click it. We can turn that off now. Turn this one back on, and we're going to pick our color. So first we'll start with this purple. Now, just for the sake of this, we'll make a new layer, and we'll do the exact same thing. Remember, you can always just come back, check, make it visible again. So yeah, I'd say I want to keep these jungles, this island for sure. Yep. All these islands. The jungle ones are pretty heavy, so that's why I'm going a little bit crazy here. Should be good. Now, I'll check. No, I do not want them in this area. So, we'll just go down here. Minimize that. Boom. These small little islands, I would like them to be jungle islands. Let's see again. These 3 islands can, yeah. Oh. That's the problem. You can't control the jitter, so don't go too close, or you could just obviously remove it afterwards. Is there anywhere else I want to do it? Nope, doesn't look like it. So we'll open this back up again, get the second variant. Disable that for now. Go back into here, make sure you're clicked onto the right layer. Then add some variants. Now, in the game, there's not as much of the second variant, so I'm going to do similar style. There we go. And that's good. Silent, add some. Good, 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 good. And we're done for that. Alrighty, so here's what it's looking like so far. I'm going to disable both these layers again and open up the big boy. Now we're gonna select the first color. Actually, we'll do the second color first. And open this back up. Now, where do I want these? I'm gonna put some on this island, so let's go. Actually, I think a good way to do this would be to turn the opacity down so we can see it, but not fully, so we can see the behind layers as well. And then create a new layer. This is the third layer, so this is the third kind. This one, I don't think I would recommend jitters since you don't really need all that many. Like, look at that. There's not very many everywhere. But gonna get rid of that. Make sure you're clicked onto the correct layer, and we're just gonna add some. Add some on the coast here. Maybe some down here. Don't make them too close to the coast. Oh, well, you can. It's a good idea, but you may have to go back after and change them if it's off a bit. Okay, more right there. This island looks like it could use some, and I'm not going to go crazy on it. Just a few here and there. I'm going to close this now. Grab the second color. Turn that back on. Turn that off. Turn that off for a second. Just add some color variants. Make sure you don't go out of the borders while doing it, of course. Alrighty, I think that's good for that. So we can delete the first 2 layers, and we can merge all of these, and we have our tree map. So now what we're going to want to do is File, Overwrite Trees.bmp, and for the Trees.bmp it should correctly do the encoding format stuff, but we'll see, I guess. So that's been changed. Now we can launch the game. Now that we're in, let's go to nudge. Let's zoom in here and look at, we have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trees. So I actually might go back in later and add some more because it doesn't look like there's too many here. Let's check over here. Trees for days, for days. Over here. Yep. Good. Let's check this island. Here you can see we got jungle trees, so we can see the lighter ones, the darker ones. All good over here. Now, palm trees. These ones are very, very small, so right there. Actually, if you do want them bigger, in the older version of this video, I do explain how to make them bigger, so if you really want, you could do that. And so, yeah, that's basically everything for this tutorial. Alrighty. Yeah, as you can see, you'll have to play around with it, especially for the small islands. Like, those are, a lot of the trees are just out in the water, so you might want to remove that. And if you have cities, you also are going to want to remove it close to the cities and the borders, of course. You don't want them in the water. But yeah. Alrighty, now on to the next part, which is going to be the cities. So we're going to right click, browse local files. We're just going to open up the two folders again. Paradox Interactive, Hoi4, mod, my mod, map. And we're going to open up terrain.bmp and GIMP. Alright, now firstly I want to remove all of the cities, and there are two yellows and they're almost identical, so I'll just show you how to select the right one real quick. Let's go over here. I know this is a city, so we're gonna go to the fuzzy select tool, click, hold, select by color, click that, and it'll select all of them with the same color. So we're going to Control C, Control V, create a new layer, and then click Create New Layer. We're going to get rid of that for now, and we'll just fill these in. Use the color selecting tool for that. We can switch back to the fuzzy select, click on that, and draw over it. So on the terrain.bmp map, not the second layer we created to show them. See? Now, where's the next one? This one we'll do with this color. You can right click this layer, alpha to selection, so I'll just select all the colors or all the contents, so we don't have to keep selecting each individual one. Then I'll just fill it, wrong layer, fill it in, fill it in, select that, fill it in, and there's no others, so delete that first layer, and we have no more cities, which is good. That's what I want. Now, is if you want a guider, you can grab your provinces.bmp, drag that in there, move it to the top, and then you can change the opacity, and then you'll be able to see the states, or provinces I meant. So you can basically, that's only if you want. You can obviously just make cities wherever you want, doesn't really matter. But we'll go back. $230, yeah, that's the right one. Let me just double check. No, that's definitely not the right one.
hold on. Might want to save that city color. There we go. Delete that again. We're gonna change this down to 5, and we'll make some cities. Actually, 5's a square, I don't like that. Okay, so we'll add a city right here. One there. Remember, don't make them too huge. Small one right there. Let's leave some pixels in there so you get some grassland in there, or hills. And this is basically it. That's all you have to do. Just add these in. For this part, after we're going to change which types of cities are where. If you want to keep track of where your cities are, you could obviously just do this on a separate layer and then click this merge down when you're done. So we'll just keep adding. I think for the rest of this, I'm just going to skip through or speed through so you don't have to watch me individually draw in all of these. Alrighty. Alrighty, so that should be good. Alright, so it should be good. We're now going to click File, Export As, keep the same name, Export, Replace, do not write color space, and export. Now let's launch the game up to see. Alright. Okay, that looks good. Small one there, nice. Decent. Nice. I think I should have made some more bigger ones like this, or maybe even bigger, but I'd say this is probably as big as you want them for like a major city. Okay, obviously I'll have to revise the tree map. Nice. Just checking. Is there any too close to the coast? Alrighty. So I'll fix trees after, but that's good for now. Now we're gonna move on to the cities.bmp. So we're gonna open with GIMP. We can close that now, discard changes. Since we exported, we don't have to save the file. Now let's go back into the game directory map, and we'll just throw in our cities.bmp as well, just to get the colors. So the blue one is like the American British style. This one is the Middle Eastern one, this is the Asian one, and this one is the... So I had to re-go check that. It's the French one, I believe. So now we can just disable that for now, re-enable that. And what we're gonna want to do is throw in our... Go to your mod, throw in your terrain. Just drag that to the top for now. We'll create a new layer just for now. And since we already have the blue layer, we won't have to worry about that. We're just going to do what we don't want. So let's select the French color, open that up. And where do we want to make the French? Probably nowhere because no one likes the French. But I mean, so we'll just do for now right here. Right here. Doesn't matter how good it is. Doesn't have to be nothing pretty. That's enough of the French. We don't want too much of them, you know what I mean? And we'll go for the Middle Eastern style one. Make sure you're still on the new layer. Obviously this type of area, the desert, we're gonna make. Okay, that's good. And for the Asian one, let's make our Asian continent over here. Maybe a little bit right there too. Alrighty, that's good for that. Actually, we'll make this one too. Why not? There we go. So now we can delete terrain.bmp from in there, the base game one, and we can enable that, merge down, and click File, Export As, Export, Replace, Compatibility, perfect, Export, Close, good. Now we'll relaunch. Alright, we can go in, check our cities. As we can see, it's got the Asian style, which is good. That's what we wanted there. This has the Middle Eastern style, beautiful. Normal Western, I believe that one was. Normal Western. Where did I put the Frenchies again? Somewhere here. Okay. So obviously I could add more, and I'm definitely gonna fix the trees real quick after this. I'll show you how to do that. More Asian style cities. Beautiful, beautiful. Except for the trees flown through there, but we don't worry about that. Alright, so let's leave. It worked. Close. Now let's go to our trees. Right click. Open with GIMP. Make sure you're opening your custom mod. Now let's drag that terrain BMP in again. Up here. A little bit bigger. What are the dimensions of this? By 600. So 600 scale. Move this over. Now we got two methods. Let's just make that slightly invisible. We'll see if there's any trees in the way in any of these places. Alright. Okay, so right here, let's grab the eraser, hardness 100, force 100. Let's do it down. And make sure you're actually erasing the right one. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wrong one. Patching it up. And just repeat this process until you're done. Alright. I think that should be good. Obviously, you're going to have to play around with this a lot, readjust, but there is one more thing. So, actually, we can delete the terrain.bmp and remember how the trees were in the coast from earlier. I'll just show you how to quickly fix that real quick. Drop in your provinces.bmp. Rescale that down to 600. Now, it actually helps that the colors are broken on this BMP. So now we can actually see right to the coast. So it looks like these cities are fine. We'll go back onto eraser tool. Oh, wrong one. We'll remove some right here. We gotta add some room. Definitely on these coasts. And this is it. You just keep readjusting until you like it. And go up to 5. Alright. Hey, as you can see, there was some in the water right there. Boom. Cleaning up the small islands too. These ones are gonna be, you gotta be careful with, and you'll definitely have to keep readjusting with the small islands. Make sure this is all good. We'll move around the lakes. Can't be too close to the lakes, otherwise it goes in the water. Very small islands like this, you're definitely gonna have to work on. Try to get the pixels at the perfect position. It's always gonna be a guessing game for these ones, because this province.bmp doesn't line up exactly since this image is smaller, but you need to keep this image smaller so your game doesn't lag the hell out of it and then crash and blow up and cause domestic terrorism. Alright, that looks good. Now we can delete the provinces.bmp, file, export as, trees.bmp, replace. Compatibilities, do not write color space, export, close. Discard, stop, confirm. Let's go back into nudge. And let's check this out. Okay. This lake definitely had a lot of trees in it. Good. I completely forgot to do this part. Lovely. As I said, yeah, it's gonna be a process to get it perfect. You can keep adjusting it over time though. It's not like you have to spend 400 hours working on it immediately. You can just do it as you go if you want. See, that'll need more, that'll need more. That definitely will. Yeah. Let's go over here to the jungle. Check our towns out. That's good. The water borders are pretty nice though. Mostly on the big continents. Clear. Nice. Up here. Good. Good. Alrighty. So that's that. That's that. Now we'll move on to the last part of the video, which is fixing some of these bad boys. So let's get started. Alright, so basically these are just files. Okay, well, first of all, let's talk about this. These three errors, they're in the base game, so I'm not gonna fucking fix them. If the damn makers of the game are gonna ignore it, I might as well too. So cheers to that. This one actually you may have. This is for the starting index of my tool that puts everything into one region. I accidentally made the starting index 0 instead of 1, so let's fix that real quick. So basically I'll show you what I mean. In supply regions, so basically state 0 doesn't exist, so just do that. My fault. I already fixed it for version 3.4 whenever that comes out, so if you're on 3.4 or anything past that, it'll be fixed. But if you did it like I did, all you have to do is delete that, click save, close it, and that one's gone. So the next one is this AI strategy English malformed token. That is just because we're doing a total conversion mod. Obviously there's gonna be some errors, so actually to fix that, we're gonna go to our mod. We are going to go to common, create a new folder, and call this AI underscore strategy. Okay. Then go to your base game directory, common AI strategy. So what's the first one? We got England, so we're gonna copy that over. Control C, Control V. I gotta make this bigger. Okay, it's the next one, Ethiopia. Right here, Control C, Control V. Germany and Soviets. So we'll find Germany, paste that in there. We will grab the Soviets, paste that in there. And then we'll deal with this one as well in a second after we're done dealing with this. So for these ones, go in, Control A, backspace, save. Same thing, just delete them. We need the actual files, otherwise the whole game will explode. But we do not need the text in them, which will solve our problems. Alrighty, now we'll launch the game to test it, see if it worked, before we move on to the next step. Alrighty, so it did work. We can ignore weather positions for now. You can obviously just do that whenever. We knew either I missed these or new ones. It's the exact same thing though, so we'll just do that while doing these. And the adjacency we can also fix. Perfect. So let's just Alt F4 or quit like a normal human being. Don't quit, because then your error log will disappear, I believe. Alright, let's redo that. Grab Italy. Where are those Italians at? Why is there ice but no Italy? That's right. ITA. Am I blind? Oh, yeah. Same thing, save. So those errors are gone, or hopefully. I mean, I know they're gone, but if you're doing this on your own, who knows? Alright. Those are gone. now let's just do the adjacency real quick before I start explaining all this. Map. Let's go to adjacencies. Delete all that in the CVS file. Adjacency rules, open that, delete all that. You're gonna have to do that later on your own. I don't know why it gives you that basic stuff, but it causes errors. Let's go back to common. And so we're looking for scripted effects. BLT, I don't know what country that is. Scripted effects, we can just right click this, copy the name, create a new folder in your mod, same name. And what were we looking for again? BLT. Bacon, lettuce, tomato, sweet. Oh, right here. Paste that in, and so now you'd think we just empty it, but actually no, that'll just explode the entire game, kill everything, give you about 20,000 errors. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read it, okay? You can also just search it up. Believe it or not, you can search it up, and it'll show you. And some people have gone through this 20,000 times. Actually, let's open it up, preferably with like Notepad++ or something that has numbers on the side, because you need to know which line, which 77, 83, 213, and 219. We'll start with the lowest one because we're going to be deleting lines, so if we delete the start lines, everything's going to be off, and then it'll be screwy. So we're going to look for 219, 219, 219, right there. So basically, delete that. Then what's the next one? 213, delete that. Then the next one, 83, right here. Delete that. Delete that. Save, close, close, stop, and we'll relaunch the game. Alright, so now we technically only have one error since these three are in the base game, which is that, which you can literally do anytime. Again, just all you have to do for this one, it's map, so just go onto the Google, search up map modding Hoi4, and it'll give a huge document. Actually, I'll just show you real quick. Right here, actually. Right here. Does it even have it in here? What was it again? Weather positions. Weather. Or is that in strategic regions? That is. Wow. That looks stupid. Alright, so apparently they don't have any documentation about that, but whatever. You can always, the trusted method, always just check the normal one. So actually, this looks like it might be done through Nudger. I've never done weather positions before because I just don't give a shit. But yeah, it looks like this one's through Nudger, and I can actually just confirm that real quick. Oh yeah, right here. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? Alrighty, well, that's everything for I Got You for today.
Alrighty, so before I end the video, I'm just need to talk about the series a little bit. So yes, I will be continuing the series, and actually at this point in the second video of the modern series, we are caught up to date with the previous. So I have some ideas about what we're gonna do, but I just need to know what you guys specifically want to know. So yeah, also the Discord and YouTube. Here's what I gotta say about that. Please do not comment asking for help on YouTube. There's literally like no way I can help you or anyone can help you on YouTube. It's way too hard. So if you need help with the series, please just join the Discord. Ask there. You'll either get help by me or one of my handy helpers like Heckarun. And yeah, please, no more comments on the YouTube. But yeah, so that's basically it. I just want to know what you guys specifically want. If there's anything specific, I may do it, may not. I'm gonna like weigh my options here, but the video series will continue. All right, nothing left for me to say. See you in the next one. Peace.